Hi, hello! I am the Queen of Daggers, and welcome to my channel, and my bed is very comfy, cozy, come hang out. This is a general reading for Taurus for this week. Anything you need to know about me and booking a personal reading will be down below in the description box. If this resonates, please hit the little like button, also the subscribe button, and click the little bell so you will be the first to know when the magic cardboard yells at me and I relay that information. And if it doesn't resonate, you can also do that. I mean, nobody's stopping you, so like, why not? Am I right? Am I right? Okay, so, like I said, this is general. Take what resonates, leave the rest. Not everything is going to fit your specific situation. Roles can be reversed, although this is a very you-centric reading, so it seems. So I like to start with the Lenormand, so I have some context on what I'm reading here. And we have cat as our signifier. Cats can be friendship, but they can also be very solitary creatures. So this could be your relationship to yourself. And dog is also loyal, familiar, but let's also remember they can be a bit naive. And moth can be, how can I say this? Not the best decision making. It can be a little, we can also say naive. It can be a little misguided is the word I want to use. And then we have garden. Now, gardens are beautiful. Gardens mean growth, but we can also handle overgrowth in our gardens. And I think that may be what we're seeing here. So, let's get to our regular spread here. So we start with the Three of Pentacles. This is a lot of celebration. It's a lot of joy, hanging out with friends. It could be, even celebrating with yourself at the same time. Be careful, this could be over drinking, it could be overspending. I know it's not cups, but, let's keep this in mind. It could be overspending, it could be overindulging in something, and you'll see why I say that as we go along. Now, what's very interesting is we go from this celebration to the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, and that very much threw me off before I did some clarification. So let's check that out. We have the Ace of Swords. Swords are knowledge, facts, etc. So you definitely think you know what you're doing, and you think you're on the right path here. And we have the Queen of Wands. Now, wands are inspiration, ideas, thoughts, etc. So you feel like you have a mastery over your thoughts right now. You feel like you're making the right decisions. You're very much on the right path mentally. And then we go to the Ace of Swords. So you feel like what you're doing is bringing you a sense of freedom, knowing that you can get out of these bindings, that these swords can't touch you, they're very much put into the ground. And then we go to the Four of Pentacles in reverse. So this is where the concept of overspending came into my mind, because it looks like you're just throwing these pentacles up into the air, willy-nilly, with no regard for where they're actually going or whether or not you need them. And then we have the Six of Cups. Now, the Six of Cups is often, love, smelling the roses, not being, it's not like the Seven of Cups. The Seven of Cups is very indecisive. It's trying to make the right decisions. This is, you are positive you're making the right decisions, but it's reversed. So you think you're making the right decisions. You think that smelling the roses is exactly what you need to be doing, but I feel like what you're doing might be a bit detrimental at the moment, and you'll see why. Because our next card is the Moon. The Moon is deceptive. The Moon can represent clouded Judgment, and that is clarified by the Empress in reverse. You think you have control over your empire, you think you're doing the right thing, you think you're managing everything properly. But when that's reversed, it gives me the sign that maybe you're not, especially with the Ace of Pentacles here. Since we started with the Three of Pentacles, and then we had the Four of Pentacles being thrown out into wherever you want. And now we have the Ace of Pentacles, as if you're handing this over, as if you don't have very many left. Since we started with 3, now we're down to 1. And Clouded Judgment. So, next we're going to the Seven of Wands, but it's sideways. So there's a big choice here. You can go like this, and you can fight off this Clouded Judgment. You can just wave your wand in the sky and get all those clouds out of the way. Or you can sit here and kind of swing around into the air and let all of these other ideas just come up and, keep you a bit trapped in what you think you should be doing. And I say this because we have the Ace of Wands to clarify. Now, the Ace of Wands is usually your ideas, your inspirations. It's generally something good. However, I think you're following the wrong path in your ideas right now, contextually. Because as much as you think it's healing your heartbreak, it does not seem to be doing you very well with how our pentacles seem to be going so far. So this may be some kind of overindulgence to compensate for something, in a very, misguided fashion. You think that you can bring yourself this joy and this loyalty and this comfort, shall we say, as dogs are usually considered, comfort animals, or they're the go-to comfort animal. You think this is going to make you feel better, but I don't think you're looking in the right places to heal your heart. And we have the Empress Upright this time. So you're positive you're making the right decision. You're positive you're giving birth to the best of the best. I think, she's in these beautiful clothes. She's got her beautiful crown. She's surrounded by all of these beautiful flowers, by all of these beautiful things. But does she need all of those beautiful things to run her empire? I think not. Do you think perhaps she may be overindulging in this situation to, feel like she has the most control? Because that's kind of what it seems like to me. And to clarify that, my dear, we have the Three of Wands in reverse. Now, usually that is, this glare. Okay. The Three of Wands in reverse is, you've made your choice and you're well on your way. But it seems like your choices are not the best choices. You're grabbing this wand and these two wands that may be more rational thoughts, so to speak. You're leaving them behind. You're staring up, oh, look at that, at the moon, with some clouded judgment on what you're going to choose. And maybe you feel like having just one wand isn't enough. You need to have all of these wands to make yourself feel, shall we say, better through whatever situation you're dealing with outside of all of this. Now, I don't know what's going on in your life. I'm not going to make guesses and I'm not going to make assumptions. You yourself know your unique situation, so apply it as it fits. And then we go to the Ten of Pentacles. Oh, so we're going up in Pentacles. You think all of this is going to make you happy. And now with Pentacles, I see it as more than just money and finance. I see it as anything in the realm of physicality or anything in the realm of resources. So this could be, clothes, drinks, shoes, gadgets, whatever it is that you think will bring you the most happiness. You're going for it. You're just grabbing it. But we go straight to the Nine of Pentacles after that. So again, we're going backwards. We had the 3 to the 1. Now we have the 10 to the 9. So why do we keep going down every time we go up? Every time we seem to be in a better place with our pentacles, suddenly we're not. And that's where I'm seeing the overindulgence come in, because now we have the Knight of Cups. Now this is emotion, and this is also why I think you're working to deal with some emotions through this overspending or overindulgence. It could be overeating, it could be over drinking, it could be overspending, it could be over whatever. It could even be, you know, engaging in more sexual activity than you would normally. Now, I'm not going to slut shame. You do you, babe. Whatever. But try to be in moderation, because if you're just going out there to feel better, you're not going to make real connections, and there's a chance it's not going to be that satisfying then. I digress. You are charging forward, trying to fill your cup. But that cup still looks, I don't know if you can see it, but it still looks pretty empty. But now we have the High Priestess here, so you're positive you're making the right decision with this. You're positive you're sitting on your throne, and you know it all in a very traditional sense. You're surrounded by these flowers. However, what interests me is that as much as the High Priestess can represent justice in its own way and clear-cut decisions, it can also represent lies. Lying to yourself, maybe, on whether or not this is the path you should be taking. Now, normally, in reverse, I see it as manipulation, but this is just straight up telling yourself something to feel a little better. And like I said, we just keep going down in the realm of Pentacles. I mean, next we have the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. Who are you giving all of these pentacles to? Because you're just letting them fall right out of your hands wherever you think it's going to be helpful. And again, pentacles are physicality, so it might not be money, but it could very much be something that you have to spend money on. So there seems to be a lot of overindulgence to me, especially with Temperance in reverse. This is quick action. And this is, if you look, Temperance is trying to fill one cup with another. And in this particular deck, both cups, blip, blip, glare, please don't, still seem to be, shall we say, empty. And Temperance can also mean healing from a long-term pain or illness, and I think right now you're trying to heal yourself. You're trying to grow your garden, but you're doing it in a very naive and misguided fashion, I want to say. Because then we go to the Page of Swords. However, the Page of Swords is in reverse. Now, pages, of course, they don't quite know what they're doing. They're just starting out. They're the messenger. Much like I am. Don't shoot the messenger. I'm reading what I'm seeing here. And swords are knowledge. Swords are facts. Swords are what we know, not what we think. But you're not listening to what you know. You're completely ignoring what you know is the best decision in this situation, to find what you think might make you happy anyway. You are clouding your own judgment, and that is not leading to the best decisions. With the Wheel of Fortune in reverse and going down and down and down and down in Pentacles, I'm seeing some problems, honey, especially with the Seven of Swords in reverse. Now that's usually either theft or being very resourceful, taking what you need and leaving the rest. However, it seems like you're just grabbing everything you can and you just don't feel like it's enough. Honey, I think it might be enough. I think you might be Gucci as much as you don't think you are. So. From there, we have, oof. The Six of Cups reversed. Now this is generally charitable or receiving charity, good news, etc. Again, it seems like you're just throwing those pentacles away until you only have one. And I don't like to see that for you, okay? I don't. And to clarify that, we had the Queen of Cups in reverse. So And normally you have a mastery over your emotions, you're ruling your kingdom, you're just, you're fair. Very misguided. As much as you're trying to be loyal to yourself and kind to yourself, you're trying to fill up this kingdom. You're trying to fill up all of your cups by doing things that do not actually serve you. And that's not ruling your kingdom. That's trying to plug a hole in a ship with a piece of bubble gum. And, sweetheart, as a fellow earth sign, I know you are much better than this, and you know much better than this. I know we have the Four of Cups, okay? Oof. That is indecision. And I think you're indecisive on whether or not you should be doing this, but you're not listening to that indecision and you're doing it anyway. Or you have these cups, but you feel like they're not enough, so you're always waiting for the next cup to come in and hoping that that's the cup that will make you feel fulfilled. And I don't think any of these cups are really making you fulfilled, and I don't think you need any of these cups, quite frankly. I think what you need to do is figure out the cause of why you're doing all of this and deal with that. You have to be kind to yourself. Yes, there is self-care involved, but you also need to be loyal to your needs, to your physical situation or financial situation, instead of working on this misguided energy where you think, you know, you're going to come out of your cocoon better as long as you fill your cocoon with everything that you can. You're overgrowing your garden. You're putting way too many flowers in there. You're running out of room, but you feel like it's not enough. You could always use another potted plant. I mean, hey, maybe that's what you're overindulging in. Plants. I mean, a friend of mine is like that, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I love her to death, but she's a big fan of having a million plants, and I think it's adorable, frankly. She's so very good to her plants, but, you know, just an example. And now... So, most people grab 1 to 3 cards from the bottom of the deck. However, I see the bottom of the deck as an epilogue or an advice spread, depending on what comes out. Sometimes it's both. So I pull from the bottom of the deck until it doesn't make sense anymore, until my deck just kind of starts fucking with me, because tarot decks do that. If you've ever... done readings for yourself, if you ask the same question long enough, it just starts telling you the opposite answer than what it's been telling you the whole time. Like, hey, are you happy now? Does this make you feel better? Did you want to hear the wrong answer? Did you want to hear that everything's gonna go bad? So, I keep going until just none of it makes sense. And so far, it hasn't done me wrong. So we have the Ace of Wands. Now you have this idea that you're working with, this inspiration, that all of this is going to make you happy. But with the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, is it? Is it? Is it? I don't know, man. All these pentacles just keep falling out of your hands. And then we have the Fool. So, you might feel foolish while you're doing this, or you might just be jumping into situations you shouldn't be jumping into. You might just be acting foolish, and you know what? Every once in a while we all act a fool. So, no judgment here whatsoever. I most certainly act a fool. In my free time. I won't lie, it happens. It doesn't happen all the time, but when it happens, it most certainly happens. So I think right now, you are in this position where you're sort of, clouding your own judgment, and being very misguided, and just, I don't think you're taking the right path. As we all know, the Fool is beginning his journey. So I think you may be going down, the wrong path through the woods to get where you want to be, to a sense of emotional fulfillment, instead of taking the path that will bring you to that. You're taking the path of, well, I guess if I collect enough stuff, or if I have a few more drinks, or if I overindulge in this, if I spend all night binging on Netflix, I'll feel better. Not always the case, my dear. Although, if you're going to binge, call me and we can watch Criminal Minds for 7 hours. Because we have the Sun in reverse. We have the Moon and the Sun in reverse. You're not looking for the light. You're not looking for the truth. You're not finding your happiness on your path. You're too busy clouding your own judgment to see the light, to see the sun, and to go towards what's actually going to serve you. Because I think you need to look inward towards your own light and make sure that yours is shining brightly so that you can see the light in the rest of the world. And now, my dear, have you been doing that, though? I don't know. I don't know. Because we have the Knight of Wands in reverse, which makes me think, yeah, you're charging forward with that idea, with that Ace of Wands, but are you charging in the right direction? Because that does not quite seem like it. You really think you're on the right path here, but you're a little upside down in your judgments, maybe. Because we have the Ten of Wands. Now, why are you carrying so many things? Why do you keep picking up all of these things like they're going to bring you fulfillment, when really, look at how bogged down he is. Look at how burdened by all of these things, and look at how many pentacles you keep losing in the process. Quite frankly, you could be losing your mind doing it. I know I certainly have during my periods of over-shopping. We've all been there, alright? No judgment, like I said. So I think you're either taking on way too much, or you're taking way too much, and you really need to watch that, to reassess your actions and whether or not they're actually making you feel fulfilled, or if they're only making you fulfilled in that moment, and then you feel like your cup is empty again. Should that make sense to you? Again, apply this to your own unique situation. I don't know what's going on in your life, okay? But I do love you, so we're working on it. We're working together here. And then we have Temperance. So you are trying to heal yourself in this situation. I just don't think you're going about it in the right way. Because we see pouring from one cup into another, you still have the same amount of water, if you think about it. And Temperance also can mean waiting, or a period of waiting, slowness. And I think you're waiting for these things to bring you the kind of joy that you need to feel better on the inside, so to speak. Instead of moving forward towards what you need to do, you're sitting here waiting for these other things to do it for you. And unfortunately, that's not how it works, as much as I wish it was, because, my Amazon cart is full. I am not a Taurus, but, like, I get it. That's why I have 25 different wish lists. It gives me the feeling of shopping without the bill of shopping, and I love it. So, that's an anecdote. It's fairly irrelevant, but, you know, we're getting to know each other. It's day one. And then we have the Devil. Oof. Vices. Poor decision making. Quite misguided, because who loved getting someone's loyalty, offering them the best in their, let's say, friendship, misguiding them in a particular garden. Interesting. Now, you don't have to have anything to do with any biblical shenanigans in your life. I personally don't, although I respect anyone who does, most certainly. You do you. No judgment, like I said, and no judgment in the cards that I can recall. Nope, not at all. But it seems a fitting allegory for those who know what I'm talking about. And that's clarified by the King of Swords in reverse. So you know what the best decisions are. You're not doing them, but you know what they are. And you have your kingdom of knowledge, you're just conveniently looking in the other direction. Oof. And the Five of Pentacles. You're not seeing what you have that could be useful, or you're not seeing how, again, every time you have more than one pentacle, you suddenly go back down to far less pentacles. I think you might be trying to use your pentacles to find this joy, and instead you're still leaving yourself out in the cold. You're still leaving yourself out miserably, and you feel like the only way to bring yourself to a point of joy is to use your pentacles again and again and again, and it really looks like you're unable to reach them at this point. Like you're running yourself ragged. You're taking your resources and they're starting to dry up. But we have the Emperor, where you swear you're managing everything, right? You got it. You have it under control. I don't know if you do. As much as I love you, I don't know if you really do. I think you might just be telling yourself this, because emperors don't always make the best of all decisions. They just think they are at the time. Ugh. And now we have the Eight of Swords in reverse. This is a card I love to see. You realize these bandages, you can just walk right out of them. You can walk through this little path. None of these swords can touch you. However, the thing is, to get there, you need to fight all of these ideas that aren't serving you. Okay, we have Five of Swords. This is an inner struggle in my understanding contextually. I think you need to fight with yourself on whether or not you should do this, especially with so many hands down there. You're just trying to grab at anything you can to make yourself happy, and it seems to not be working. Ugh. But I think if you really take the time to focus on what your inner battle actually is, and focus on why you're going to outside sources to fight it for you, you'll get a better understanding of what's going on and why you're doing all of this, and why you're purposely clouding your judgment and purposely with the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. And every time we see a good amount of pentacles, they just keep dropping and dropping and dropping. Your fortune is going down, quite literally, depending on your situation. Because, oh boy, what do we have here? The Knight of Pentacles in reverse. You are just throwing them in the wrong direction. Throwing them in the wrong direction. There is a lot of overindulgence in here. So much. And then we have the King of Pentacles, which is interesting that we're starting to end on this note. Now, it may be because you think you have all of these things. Your garden is so overgrown. If you look at this, just flowers everywhere. But he only has one pentacle in his hand. Now, is he just overindulging to feel like he has some kind of kingdom? Is he actually managing his kingdom? Or is this a sign that you can take control over this? You can see the sun. Where did the sun go? It's hanging out. It's hanging out. And you can part the clouds and stop living in almost an illusion and misguiding yourself. You can stop dealing with the devil and put away your vices and take this and, be in that energy, which I really hope you do. This is what I want to see for you, okay? This is what I want to see. You can absolutely take control back. But right now, we have the Magician in reverse. So I think all of these things that you're trying to get, that you think you need to make this magic, to make your life better, they're not helpful. I think you can do this by yourself. I think you already had the tools to do it, but you didn't think you did. So that's what I have for you, my dear Taurians. There may be a little overindulgence in your situation here, but this can still be changed. And you can take a look at, what you're doing with your resources and reassess your ideals at the moment. And if any of this resonated, please hit the like button. If it didn't resonate, you can also hit the like button. No one's gonna stop you, I'm just saying. Please do also subscribe. The button should be in this general direction, I think. Hit the little bell so that the next time the magic cardboard yells at me and I relay it to you, you'll be the first to know. And feel free to leave a comment. Tell me your favorite snack. Tell me what you did today. Tell me how you're doing. You can tell me where you're from. I'm from Rhode Island in the U.S. It is very small. Most people think it's part of New York, but we're not. Fun fact. And anything else you need to know about me should be in the description box, like how to get a personal reading if you'd like, to, you know, either find something out about the rest of your life, figure out something else, if you have a fun question for me, or if you want to know how to deal with what you're doing right here, maybe I can offer some advice via spirit through the magic cardboard. So I love you very much. I hope to see you very, very soon. And with that, I have to say, bye!